Hi guys, my name is Dylan Galinsky and this is my partner Lenny Prague.
Hey guys, and we're here to show you our product, Smask. Smask is a smoking accessory which allows you to mitigate secondhand smoke while also eliminating fumes and odor that result from it. So, how does it work? Well, for the sake of this demonstration, we already lit it by inserting the lighter component into the tube, but let's focus on the three main aspects of the device. Here we have our inhale chamber, which allows air to flow in, keeps the cigarette ignited, and also makes sure that it's secure. Next, we have our mouthpiece. Our mouthpiece breaks down into two components, our exhale valve and our inhale valve, allowing us to have two direct flow patterns, one for inhale and one for exhale. And finally, we have our third component, the filter and the fan, which allows the smoke to be filtered by 99.8% while also creating a continuous airflow circuit within the device.
So, how did we get here? We started this project roughly 2 years ago. It was started as a backyard project. We started tinkering around with it, and that essentially led to our first prototype right here, actually. So me and Lenny, our CAD skills were we were able to make basic designs, but when it got more into engineering aspects, we needed some guidance. So I was like, okay, I go to an engineering high school, ranked #1 in the state for robotics. Let me get the captain of the robotics team. And I reached out to him. Guy was super helpful actually, and he essentially did CAD work for us. We paid him I don't even know at this point, $1,200,
Yeah.
relatively cheap, and we were able to make our first prototype right here. So we even have an electrical component on here that we soldered ourselves. But the issue with this prototype was that whenever we put a cigarette inside and actually light it,
the plastic would melt.
Yeah, there was no
simple
leakage,
as
no
that.
nothing worked, but the plastic would just melt, and we were like, okay, this is out of our control. We need to do a prototype made out of metal. We didn't know much at that time, but
We tried smelting it.
yeah, we essentially tried smelting it. We made a homemade furnace and melted down aluminum cans and made metal ingots and tried to. When we think about it now, right? But how far we've come. We melted down the aluminum ingots, and we had this 3D casted mold that we tried to make, but didn't work out too well.
Not at all.
And that's where me and Lenny essentially came to the decision this is a product where we think there's a big market for it. We talked to a lot of people about the idea, and we had a lot of positive support. Actually, especially from my parents, my dad specifically. My dad was a smoker himself, and it led him to ending up in the hospital because his appendix ruptured, and it was a big change in our lives. My dad was a very healthy guy, but then as he was getting around the 50s, because of the smoking habit and because of this hospitalization, it really affected him a lot. So it was something that was dear to my heart specifically, and I shared that passion with Lenny, and that led us to the device. But we decided that if we want to do this, we got to do it the right way, and that means we have to raise money, and essentially we went and bootstrapped friends and family around, and we were able to raise $30,000. That 30K, it sounds like a lot, but R&D is really expensive, especially for a project. Especially for a project where it's not something we take off the shelf and re-engineer. It's not a vape, it's not electrical at all in that aspect, and it's actually real combustion in this device. So it's the actual authentic feel of smoking a cigarette, which nothing on the market offers that. And that's when we decided, we got to hire a professional firm, which with the 30K we did, and we were able to have a proof of concept and prove our technology works and it's legitimate. And with that, and essentially this prototype, we went to raise around. So it took us a while. It took us actually 8 months. And this September we closed around for 50K at a $500,000 valuation, which then led us to where we are now with this prototype right here, which Lenny will explain a little more about.
Yeah, so the main thing we had to learn from our device and the whole concept as a whole is how large can we make this filter and how many cigarettes do we want to be filtering out. And that's what we accomplished. The whole system works as a whole. We know that the metrics, it lasts right now about 2 to 3 packs with differences in airflow, 2 to 3 packs.
And no reduction, and the most important part is there's no reduction in the amount of carcinogens we reduce.
Yeah, firsthand, that people inhale. It's only for what's burning off of the cigarette and what users exhale back into the device as well. Ultimately, our goal is to be able to filter out the inhale smoke as well. The reason for that is instead of just offering people the ability to taper off their usage or track their usage, now we're offering them health solutions, meaning we're making it able for people to limit the amount of other gunk that's that's going into their lungs.
So to get in a little more about the IoT solutions specifically, we have a lot of sensors in our device that allows us to track a lot of metrics for our users. So we're able to track how many cigarettes our users smoke, the volume of smoke that they're intaking, to a certain degree the amount of carcinogens that they're reducing and intaking, which is a drastic thing.
It's such an addiction, it's such a habit that you go out, you don't realize that you're going out for a puff, and then at the end of the day, you recollect, pack is gone. You know, it just these kind of mental reminders and cues that we can offer our customers through IoT solutions and a bunch of other cloud-based software implementations later down the road, and we are going to have these in mind with the hardware at least at launch. So it will be a continued rollout of the software. And that brings us to where we are now with our current generation. This baby was designed by us to be space efficient, ergonomic, so it fits nice in the hand, and also incorporate a lot of the features that we learned a lot about from in our testing phase. And for that reason, we feel that we have a truly innovative product here. So with our possible partnership with eFest, it's really going to come down to the polarity of the smoking issue. And what we really want to hit home today is that this is not just a smoking product that will allow you to get high or get your fix. This is something that will educate people about their habits, track their habits, and offer them solutions for ways to quit, ways to move on with their lives. And
As well as for their families.
as well as for their families
And
and
loved
pets.
ones around them.
And pets. So you guys are going to get behind a genuine team, and we just hope that you see the value in us and our product. Thank you very much.